everyone. Welcome back. It is season 3 of What the Fertility. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe we're starting season 3, Kat.
I know you just hit record and I felt like all of our guests get really nervous when we record and I just kind of felt like I was a guest on our show.
Right? Well, welcome. I'm just kidding. But no,
Thanks.
we're so excited. I can't believe we had like a break, obviously, after season 2. And we've been recording for the last like month or so, and we've had guests on. But this is our first one together, you and I.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, like, it doesn't feel like it's the first part of season 3. I was just counting. We've already recorded 7 of our season 3 episodes, and I
So
think
cool.
they're really good. I was going through it. A lot of them are personal testimonies, which I think is great because I feel like season 2 is heavy in some of the professional, but I
Sure.
also love the 2 professionals that we've done so far. We did 412 Fertility, which is like the injection and medication nursing, like private
Such a
health.
cool concept. It's so cool. I can't wait for everyone to hear that one.
I know she's just cool in general herself. And then I think the concept is really cool. And
Yeah.
then just last weekend we did a surrogacy agency and the founder, Sunshine, was it 3-time surrogate?
Yes. Yeah. 3 times. I think.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was really neat too. I feel like everybody last year was asking for surrogate episodes, and I don't think we really we landed on Chelsea, who like told her
Yeah.
story, but we never had a surrogate on. So we actually have a handful of those coming up, which I'm excited about.
No, it's so crazy. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a really fun season. And I don't know, I just think we're gonna do things a little bit different and we're hoping to get more video content. So TBD. But I
Failed on the first one, but we
we,
are
we had every we had our goal to do this one with video, and then we both haven't showered today, so let's start with that.
Yes,
um
it is late on Thursday night because life has been crazy, which I think like listeners, I know we did a poll. They kind of wanted to hear what we'd been up to.
yeah.
Because really the last, I feel like every year. So we get to do one a year and now we're 3 years into the podcast. I remember the first year I was crying about my failed IVF cycle. You had just had a baby. And then last year I had a 3-month-old when we launched and you were loving mom life. You were where I am now, right? I have a 15 month
Ben
old.
was, yeah. He was, like 14 months.
Gosh, that's
So crazy.
crazy. I mean, so yeah, so the whole last year I've just been being a mom. I'm so thankful I pushed through everything in my journey to get here. It's the best
She
thing
is
ever.
so freaking cute. Oh my gosh.
Month
Literally full
15
face.
has been my favorite.
Is
Like,
it?
yeah, we don't have to harp on it, but I'm like really enjoying this time with her. She's just like, it's great. She's learning to talk a little bit and she can kind of
Like their
tell me,
little personality starts coming out. I think that was so
yeah,
fun.
just all worth it.
Oh my gosh, yes. We're super grateful, super thankful. And like, yeah, mom life has been definitely taking over for me for sure. Ben's too. And the twos are something. Not
I
sure.
know. I'm like, the 15 months are great. And you're like, yeah, wait.
No, twos are fun. It is fun because like he really now is talking. And I mean, he's like fully potty trained and like he is a full blown toddler. So toddler life is fun. And he rules my world though. He tells me what we do every day.
And
So,
yeah, it sounds like it. And you're gearing up for IVF.
IVF, we're going back. So I actually just got off the phone yesterday with our fertility clinic in Michigan. So if you're like just listening and not familiar with our story, we did embryo adoption, and so we adopted 3. We already have my first, which is my son, and then we have 2 more cryo frozen in Michigan, and I live in North Carolina. And so we will start prepping and start getting everything ready. But our transfer is scheduled for right now, the beginning of May.
Gosh, that's wild. Like I feel like every year we kept, or even like every like couple of months we talk about like, yeah, like when you're 30, you're
I
gonna be
know.
doing it. And
Like,
you had
it
your
already
big
happened.
30th
Yeah.
birthday. You
Yes.
went to Mexico and now you're like, because I know you've said it recently, like you had been starting to make appointments and scheduling and kind of getting a little nervous too.
Yeah, no, definitely nervous is like, I think also it's like the pressure, not to get like deep into it. I know this is just like our fun first episode, but honestly, it's like the pressure of I only have 2 more chances to like give him a sibling. And I'm obviously gonna mourn and grieve so much if like it doesn't work or one doesn't work or whatever, which I'm sure people can relate. But like then that's it, like for me, for him to have one, biological siblings, and two, like IVF doesn't work for me with my eggs. So like I would have to then like entirely start from the beginning and figure out if that is even something we want to do. I don't think it is. I think that if they both like for some reason God just like closes that door and they both don't take and the transfers don't work, I think like he'll just be an only child and we will just spoil him rotten.
Yeah, gosh, I never even thought about that because I know like you've been so like positive and it worked the first time for you.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna work again. But I didn't think about that. That has to be like really like just like anxiety producing of there's just so many different reasons why it would be really difficult for you if it doesn't work.
I know. And I'm like, okay, so like IVF, we always look at like the statistics of like, okay, you got this many eggs pulled, and then from that, this many fertilized. And then you know how you like kind of go down and like do your statistics of like, okay, we'll possibly have two embryos or whatever it may be, whatever your numbers are. Well, I'm like, okay, our egg donor, she had 6 embryos that she like created that are healthy. They've been chromosomally like tested, they're all good. Out of 6 of those, we've had now 4 live births that are like
Wow.
so it's all been like 4 for 6 right now, and I'm one of the 2
Wow.
last ones. So I'm like,
Oh,
shit, are these 2 the last ones that are not going to take?
yeah.
This is like
Yeah,
a
you can almost look at the statistic on both sides. Like, okay, well, they've all been great, but at what
Here's
point
where
are
Chris is. Chris is like, look, every school one has like worked. Everyone like it's all healthy babies. Like we're gonna be fine, which is great, and I appreciate like obviously
right?
positivity. But I'm like, I also know the other side
Oh
of
my
fertility.
goodness. Well, I'm personally obviously excited for you and Chris and Ben. I'm also excited that it's gonna align with like as we record too, so that finally, because I mean basically we accidentally started this podcast after after
Afterwards.
we after we both like I got pregnant within the first month of this 2 whatever years ago. I don't even know where we are in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a month later, and then you had just had Ben. So this will be really interesting, like perspective, I think, for listeners to hear you go
For sure.
through this.
Yeah, and I think I've talked about it too in like the ending of season 2 that like I definitely want to be open on our like Instagram and everything. Just like about everything live. So I'm gonna do videos of like injections and take you with me to my transfer and just kind of have
Ooh.
like a full on experience like firsthand. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be great. I'm excited for all of it.
yeah, this is
I
gonna
feel
be
like I'm like less exciting. I mean,
no.
I love how I always forget that like sometimes this may be somebody's first episode, but like my situation again, like quick recap, recurrent pregnancy loss, undiagnosed, no reason. We did IVF. It was a chemical pregnancy with our one and only embryo. So like we're not in a situation that we would jump to IVF again. I know I did the solo episode last season about no more kids, one and done. That's it. I think at the end of season 2, I was like, maybe by January we'll start trying again. So
Drum roll, please.
wait, what was
I
that?
said drum roll, please.
Drum
We're
roll.
waiting.
Yeah, no, definitely headspace. Yes, I do think that we want to try again. I was just telling you all the stuff going on with work is insane. And my pregnancies were super high risk, obviously, like the reoccurrent loss. I had hyperemesis, I had anemia, I had polyhydramnios. I was like the
Like
worst.
really easy, it sounds like.
Yeah, I was the worst
Yeah.
pregnant patient. I basically was bed rest at like 5 weeks. So yes, I think we are gonna try throughout the year. Probably not until like maybe summertime. So maybe our tryings will align. And I don't know, it's the same thing.
Was gonna ask,
Josh,
like, are
yeah, go
you
ahead.
sorry, no, I was just gonna say, like, obviously I can only speak to like my one miscarriage, but like you had reoccurrent loss. Like going into that, are you now so nervous that that's gonna happen again?
Yeah, so
It's like
number one.
you got your daughter,
I was
but
gonna
it
say
was
number
after.
one, you didn't have just one miscarriage. You had a very devastating loss. Number two, yeah, it's weird. You forget. Like I forget. Like it's been okay. So my last miscarriage was December of 20. I say I forget, and then I'm like telling you the date December 25th, 23rd of 2021, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Because Ben was born, yeah.
21. My gosh. So has it been 2 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
December
So
2.
yeah, so I had that last loss. And then again, for listeners that don't know my story, I closed the door on having a biological child. We started the adoption process. I was so excited. I was so
Or that
excited.
like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I was so pumped. We had spent a ton of money to get we weren't just started. We went live with an agency. We had our profile book. We were matching with not matching. We were being presented families. Families were being presented to us. And I naturally conceived and we just assumed, okay, miscarriage. And then it just kept going. So I forget. I will say like over the last, I don't know, couple months, there's been I've taken it like a pregnancy test once or twice. I think I've taken it twice. And there is that like bizarre, it's weird. Like it's not a good time for us to be pregnant. But then again, like if you're going through infertility, that's all you want. It's never like, you never even think about the time. Like it could be the worst time in the world. And you're like, please let me be pregnant. But when I've been looking at those tests, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is there a line? Like what, you just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I will say like, no, I'm not going into it like terrified to have another miscarriage. I am going into it thinking I likely will. And I don't know what that will be like because I have Brooklyn,
Yeah.
right? Like I
Yeah.
have her, but I think we've had guests on. I know personal friends that have gone through secondary infertility, which isn't what this is, but where they have a baby. And I think you'll be going through it, right? Like you'll have been.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to be like going through trying to have another child? Like,
Yeah.
is it, I'm sure it comes with its own complications too, because you're going through this traumatic time, but then you also are trying to be like really positive for your kid.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense. Also, it's like kind of like a mind F because like for us, I super TMI, probably like too TMI, but it's fine. Obviously me and my husband have sex and
Obviously.
obviously it's great, it's fine. But I like am petrified still to this day. And my miscarriage was how many years ago now? And I don't let him do the deed inside of me because I am still like so petrified that it's gonna happen again. And I think so because of like,
I think you're the norm. I think most people probably feel like you do than what I just described.
really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think I don't know why. You're not. No, you're not. I think, I don't know. Maybe because I was so like, I had so many, I was just like, okay.
Like, well, you were like really just going to the next, like, let's go.
Yes,
like,
all
six like autopilot. Like,
yeah, 6 miscarriages in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like that means I was pregnant 6 times in 12, I can't do math, 24 months.
math is hard. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also I think too because of like our IVF rounds and like when they were obviously our embryos were tested and every single one was missing multiple chromosomes. So I think what my fear is obviously yes,
Right.
miscarriage, but also then like that like something would happen and I would then have like a stillborn or like something so traumatic that if like I can just prevent it. And like I know I have these 2 healthy embryos and I know things can happen obviously still and things can change and I can still have a miscarriage even with these embryos. Like I know that rationally, but like this is for me like something that I can control. I say all that to say it has happened and he has done the deed. And so all of that, just I say that all and then it happens. And then I'm like, I'm going to kill you if something happens. And then
right.
it's so weird because you go for so long. I was such a tangent, but like so long being like, oh my gosh, all I want to do is get pregnant. I want to get pregnant. I just want to see that line to then you like go through infertility. All this stuff happens. And then it's like the shift that I'm like, oh my gosh, Chris, if I get pregnant by you and not like through our like adopted embryo, I'm petrified that I'm going to miscarry or something's going to be wrong. I don't know.
I like honestly love that we organically are talking about this because it's like, okay, so we've been doing this podcast for 3 years and like, I don't think we would have had this conversation 3 years ago because we didn't know it existed. And it is just like another layer of our tagline of like all things fertility. Like this is still a piece of it. after you have your 2-year-old, after you want to continue to grow your family, but like even past that, like it's very interesting to have gone through things that, you and I and our listeners have gone through. It really does change your outlook on all
everything.
things.
No,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah. So crazy. So super long tangent on that. Sorry. Too TMI about me.
Well, that's good because I don't know what else can we talk about. I'm trying to think. We are completely booked out, I think, for season 3, which is insane.
Literally
I
crazy.
think we're pretty close to being booked out. I know we have some slots open. But Amanda and I's goal, I think we did pretty good last season. Our goal was to do a one-on-one every month, and especially with Amanda going through IVF again. You guys aren't going to get much from me for the first half of the season. I'm gonna be pretty boring. But I think you never know. But yeah, I mean, we have been so pleased and are so thankful that everybody's really reached out. They're wanting to share their stories. I'm just kind of looking through our calendar now. We have a lot
I
of
think
people.
one thing that we have gotten asked about, and I don't know, I got to look back at our calendar and see moving forward who we have all like booked on the calendar, is to talk about more of like male, like infertility.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'm looking through the calendar right now, and I do want to talk on one of the guests, but I don't see any guys that have booked. But I do know we've had people reach out. So like if your husband wants to be on, if your male partner wants to be on, I'd actually love to do like a couple one as well,
Yeah,
like husband
that
and
would be
wife.
so fun.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
we've never, and we've done one couple, I think, before.
yeah, but wasn't that the same-sex couple that we did?
Sex couple, yeah.
Yeah, which was great. Also, they're pregnant now. Like that, I'm
That's
pretty sure
fun.
they could have already had the baby. I haven't I need to go check on that.
I
But
can follow back. I know, same.
yeah, go check on go check on that. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Because I know we put this on our stories, but if you're listening, go to our Instagram, which is just What the Fertility Pod, and we have a link in our bio, and you can just sign up for a recording right there. I think it says, yeah, it does. The 4th option down says record with us, and our calendar is up to date. You don't have to pass a test. You don't have to ask for Amanda and I's permission. You can just sign up for your recording. Like I said, we are pretty booked. I think our next availability is April, May. But please jump on there, and then there's questions that I ask you. So you'll be able to kind of share your story at that point. But I think that helped kind of fill out some of the slots too, because people were like, how do we get on your show?
No, that's perfect. And it's super easy now, I feel like. Because before I think we had it where we had to send it to them, and now you guys have full
yeah. We were we're gonna have a professional resource. We're gonna have a personal story. And I think halfway through season 2, we were like, come one, come all.
Yeah, anyone who wants to be on, please. We love having you. It's so fun just to hear so many different people's stories, and all over the world, which has been the gnarliest thing, I think.
I know.
How we've gotten to meet all these people from all different places.
Yeah, last weekend we jumped on for the recording. Remember? We jumped on for the recording. We're a fourth of the way through the recording, and she's like, yeah, here in Canada. We were like, what?
Oh, cool. Okay. You're in Canada. Didn't know that. Sorry. We are probably the worst podcast hosts. Didn't know where we were located.
No, but she was great. I mean, I think, season 1 was a lot of our friends, right? And there was a lot of we had
a lot of
physicians. Yeah, we were really heavy on that. But now it's these people that we don't know, and it's almost like a better dynamic because we're learning their story for the first time too. And we're kind of hearing it. One of the things, a couple things. So the person we're recording with this weekend, this is going to be a really cool one for listeners. It's Ready Nest Counseling. And so they, as I say, we used to record with our friends. She's not a personal friend, but it's such a neat concept. It is a fertility counseling office in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and they specifically talk about it is mostly fertility, but it's also pregnancy, postpartum, how you can deal with infertility within your relationships, at work. It's really neat. So Emily is the CEO, and she's going to be chatting with us this weekend. So I think that one will be a really good good
Yeah.
listen.
Because I feel like
Um,
something that's been pretty like common through each person we've talked to is I would say like not everyone, but I would say the majority have gone seek some type of counseling
yeah.
going through fertility treatments. So that's really
Yes. Yeah, I'm super excited. I want to hear like her insight too of kind of like how she coaches patients through. I mean, I'm sure she'll like not coach, but you were a counselor. You probably can speak. How do you coach somebody through therapy? I just like I haven't had that, and now I'm so irritated because I've built that relationship with them that they won't have me as a patient because I now have this relationship, outside relationship. So I'm super excited about that. The other really, really fun one is Alexis. Do you remember Alexis who was on, who we recorded with her, and she was a nanny, and then she had gone through loss. She was like the leader of that big fertility group, fertility
Oh, yes.
rally. Yes. Okay. So she like ended the episode and we were like super, it was just like super sad. Like she just still wasn't pregnant. She had failed. She has had her baby,
Oh my God.
and she got pregnant since our episode in season 2.
Oh,
And she ended up, her son is named Sunny, and she literally was bed rest in the hospital for like gosh, like 15 weeks or something. But her
oh,
son's perfect. He just came home a couple days ago. I love that like she reached back out and wanted to be on the podcast to kind of share
oh, that's
everything that
so
happened to her.
fun. I love that.
Yeah, since her last the last
I love
episode.
that. Because okay, I'm so like cheesy and sappy, and I know when I like watch like these like so unrelated, but like home shows, and they like show you like like their house and it's all complete. Then I want to see like 6 months later. Like I want to see you living
Yeah.
and like
And
seeing the life like day to day. And so I love getting to hear like this next chapter. Because for
yes.
some people on our podcast, like you said, like she wasn't pregnant, she didn't have that quote unquote her happy ever after yet.
Right.
And so then to now hear her story,
Yes.
like all that,
And
it's cool.
and in the episode, she was talking about to you, like, oh, embryo adoption. I really considered that. Like, what are your thoughts? Her son is an adopted embryo.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she's great. I actually really loved listening to her previous episode. So she'll be on the show in a couple months. Who else do we have? Gosh, we have so many good ones, and they're all like just really different, I think, too. Okay. Oh, look, we do have male infertility. So we have somebody
I needed to go through it fully.
yeah, with Kalman syndrome, makes his sperm non-existent.
Interesting.
Anyways, I'm not going to get
Yeah,
too much into some of this stuff, but we
cool.
definitely have a wide variety of guests, but we would love you guys to continue to sign up. We will air this. This is Thursday night. No video. We both are looking phenomenal.
Just drink my wine. I am getting over the flu, so ignore me and my nasally cough and all the things. So
But we're about 2 weeks late on our typical timeline, but this will go live in a couple days, so I think everything I'm saying is like real time, right?
yeah. We'll be live on Monday, which they'll see this the same day. So the 15th it should be, and this should be airing for everyone, and we'll be back to our normal 7 a.m.
Yeah,
drop.
7 a.m. on Mondays drop. Yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, I'm like, we should tell everybody how this happens. I forget. Yeah, so Sunday nights, we will post we actually, insider tip, we actually post our episodes on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon on our website, but those are like the least listened to. But if you see the post go up, it means that the episode's actually embedded into our website. So you can just go link in our bio, www.whatthefertilitypod.com. We have historically written a blog about it. I don't know if we're going to do that or not this year. I don't think we'll see. We'll write a summary at the minimum.
Yes, it'll be
And
just like a quick little two-liners to just kind of give you
an
some.
idea. Yes. And so it's in our website, and then they drop on Spotify and then Apple 7 a.m. on every single Monday. So and we're pretty much live January through September.
Yeah. And then we kind of give ourselves a break during holiday season. And then I'm sure we'll be back for season 4 again next year.
Yes. And there's some exciting stuff coming if we can get our shit together.
I know, I'm super excited. Obviously, we don't want to spill it, but something super fun, which we hope you guys will love. But it's in the works. So hopefully coming next month-ish, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
March.
tight timeline, but we got it.
March. I'm thinking March, beginning of March. Oh,
Anything else you want to share? I know our first episodes are always all over the place, but I feel like we tend to get what we need to get out there to get the
I know,
season
right?
rolling.
This is just Kat and I, and this is kind of how we roll. But no, just that we're super excited, that we can't believe, we're just super thankful that we're even able to be here and say that we're starting season 3, and just having that people even want to come on our show and talk to us and share their stories. We're just really grateful that you are being like people are coming on and being vulnerable to even, share their journey. So we're thankful, and I can't believe we are doing season 3 again. Here we are.
I know, me too. This is your sign. If you wanted to share your story, sign up and do it. We always hear that it's been like a very therapeutic exercise to do. And hey, we don't care if you want to come on and talk to Amanda and I and then say, don't air it. That's fine too. But we've always found that I feel like our guests are like, wow, that was really therapeutic for me to share that. And then a lot of times they're like, I've never really talked about it in this depth. And so I think that's really neat opportunity.
And something I don't know, because I feel like all of our guests maybe don't realize this when they first come on, that we don't record video and we can easily edit anything out. So if you're nervous that you're gonna mess up, or you're scared just to talk publicly or whatever it may be, we can edit, restart, totally do whatever. So don't be nervous or anything with us. We're the most laid back podcast host probably.
Do you remember that one time? I think it was me. We did the intro of welcome back, What the Fertility 7 times because I just couldn't do it with the girl on the other end.
Yeah. So it's not only just you guys, us too. Believe me, we mess up all the time. So
yes.
But yeah, we're excited. Season 3 starts, like I said, this will air the 15th, and we will have lots of fun people coming on. So we're so excited.